Hello and welcome to Inside F2. Today we have a very special guest all the way from Brazil, Felipe Drugovich. In his rookie season, he won 3 races and has earned himself a new fan following in his native Brazil. How do you look back on the season? What was your favourite moment of that year?
Well, 2020 was, I think, an amazing year for me. I think pretty much the best one in my career. I think I would say Bahrain race 1 was the best moment of the year.
Felipe Drugovich brilliantly wins in Bahrain.
It was an amazing race. I think I didn't make almost any mistakes, so I was really happy with my performance and also the performance of the car, and we managed it pretty well. And of course, talking about the season, I wasn't expecting to have 3 wins at the end of the season. Maybe the championship position is not so relevant for the amount of victories we had because of a little bit of an inconsistency. But anyway, I was really happy with it, and I think I learned a lot from it.
You got a win early on in the season at Austria. How much did that change or reshape your expectations?
I really did reshape my expectations. I think, especially coming up from 2019, that was pretty much horrible year for me, that I couldn't express any results or any speed for whatever reason, from car or myself or whatever. And of course, you lose a lot of confidence from that. And coming up to the first weekend, and then I already have a win. I ran a P2 in qualifying, but also a win in the reverse grid 1 was pretty special, and for sure it bumped up my confidence really high, and I could push really hard for the next ones.
After what was considered a good first season, how hard was it to leave MP?
I think it was pretty hard. Of course, the decision was already made before the last 2 rounds in Bahrain. If I had to make it after the last 2 rounds, of course, it was going to be even more difficult, because the car, at least from MP in Bahrain, was awesome. And but I think I had a chance in Virtuosi, and for me, has been a team, the most consistent team throughout the season, and they have been fast everywhere, pretty much everywhere. So I think it was I would say the best shot that I could have, just to be more certain that they can provide me with a good equipment, and also can help them. And yeah, I'm really happy with it at the end. I think it was the right choice.
What are your hopes and expectations for 2021?
I try to keep my expectations low, but of course, I hope I can fight for the championship. I think we have the capabilities for it, and I think I've had good results in 2020. I learned a lot, and also the team has been really fast. So if we can keep improving and keep pushing, we can for sure have good results.
Following your days testing with Virtuosi in Bahrain, what are the differences between Virtuosi and MP in terms of equipment and atmosphere?
I would say atmosphere is pretty similar, I would say, because it's quite I wouldn't say a family, but they're working together really nicely. The only thing that I felt a little bit different was the MP was we had many new people, and because of that, the team was working a little bit. I wouldn't say sketchy, but nobody really knew what to do at the beginning of the year. It was getting better and better throughout the year, and everything was working more automatically, I would say. I don't know if it's the right word, but yeah, everything was just working more smoothly throughout the year. And I just see in Virtuosi, it's like the same people for many years. And one of the things I really like about the team is that the whole team is just focused on 2 F2 cars, and that's I think the main thing of the team, that are completely 100% focused on those 2 cars.
This season's Formula 2 is a completely different weekend format. We have 2 sprint races and 1 feature race. How much do you think this will change the racing? Will it spice it up?
I think everybody will try to push and get as much forward as possible in every race. Nobody's going to try to hold up. But yeah, I think consistency is going to be key, just to try to have good results in all those 3 races. It's going to be important. But yeah, I think we have to wait and see until the first race, because nobody really knows what to do. And if you're P1, it's a P8 in the first race, and it's kind of a mess at the beginning. Everybody's going to try to understand better when actually we're racing again.
How do you feel about having less weekends on the Formula 2 calendar?
I would say I would prefer to have the old calendar. 2 races and 12 weekends was much better, for at least in my opinion. Anyway, the tracks seem quite okay. We have to see. I'll have many new tracks, as well as many other drivers, street tracks that we never raced on, and it's going to be quite challenging.
How are your preparations for this season going?
Well, for now, I'm in Brazil. I'm pushing quite hard physically, training a lot, and also a little bit of simulator, but especially physical, and training a lot of go-karts. And I think that's the main thing I'm doing, training a lot of go-karts, just trying to keep the reflexes on point. And also, I think trying to keep that racing mentality, which is quite important. But as soon as I get back to Europe, I'll go to the team, do seat fitting, do meetings and everything we have to do, and just get in the zone again.
And when do you expect to be back in the UK to do a seat fitting?
We were talking about at the end of January, but seeing the conditions in UK, we don't really know what's going to happen. We have to wait and see.
And finally, who do you see as your biggest rival for the championship from last year's grid, as well as the confirmed drivers for this year?
I don't know. To be fair, I don't really know. It's too many good drivers. There are so many good drivers that they can be really fast. So we have to see. We've got I don't know, Lips, Schwartzman, all these guys that already been fast in 2020, and they're gonna carry on the experience. But we have also rookies, and as we've shown this year, rookies can also be good. So we have to wait and see in the first race. Hopefully, I can still be at the top.
Thank you very much, Felipe. Thank you for your time. All of us at Inside F2 wish you a very good season.